All right, welcome in. Monday Fun Day here, June the 15th. Can you believe it? No more NHL, no more NBA, plenty of World Cup, plenty of Major League Baseball. And of course, I believe we've got some sort of major coming up this weekend. It is Father's Day weekend. So the PGA and the U.S. Open will take center stage. So we got a lot going on this week, including no Prez. It'll be a Prez-free zone this week, which means Bryan Power is back in the saddle again. Not to mention, he is all over the World Cup. All over it, when I tell you. He has been handicapping soccer from Bundesliga to La Liga to, Serie A, you name it. Even a couple of Mexican leagues, I think. Really off the radar stuff. Nobody does soccer quite like BP. And BP, you got to be excited, right? World Cup underway. Now, I know you live in the sticks in Ohio, so chances are there won't be a whole lot of soccer showing up by you. But are you excited so far with what you've seen?
I knew that introduction was too nice and going too slow. I kept waiting for the part where I just got the knife stuck in me. Glad to be here, Joe. I guess, it's. I'm not going to say you're glad to have me, but I'm the one who showed up. Where is everybody? I messaged everyone. I said, the show, and I'll be there. And I said, I would love to do a show with my good friend, Joe Ranieri. So here we are. And yes, I am very excited about the World Cup. My strongest play of the tournament so far goes tonight. So extra excited for tonight. Yeah, I told the people last week on WagerTalk today we would start light in this first sort of round of the group stage that we have started light, but really like tonight's play. Coming off a winning weekend too, Joe. 3-2 overall, 2-0 in Major League Baseball. And ready to focus on Major League Baseball World Cup now for the next, 3 weeks?
BP will have a World Cup rundown for you. We'll give him 2 minutes, and he can spew out how you should take Spain on the money line here before this game starts.
You ruined the joke, Joe.
Just saying. Nobody who doesn't love a good minus 3,500 favorite to start off the World Cup. I'm kidding, though. But let's start and look back here, because what a weekend it was. I'm kind of sad to see the NBA season and playoffs to be done with, because I just, you never get tired of cashing 5% best bets, which we did again, I think, on Friday night. In fact, I thought we were going to get one more. I really did think that maybe Madison Square Garden would go back, but I want nothing to do with the Spurs in the second half. I took them early in the first half, and wouldn't you know it, they melted down again, BP. Sad to see the NBA go, but the Knicks got it done, man. It was a good NBA season for you as well. There, were you dabbling in that game on Friday?
Yeah. Unfortunately, I had the Spurs full game, so you were smarter than I to get out. I was like, Joe, it was the oddest NBA final. So I did a video preview on the WagerTalk YouTube channel for it, and I said, no matter who wins this series, history is going to be made, because no team had ever won the finals with higher odds than the Knicks had going into the playoffs. They were 22-1 coming into the playoffs to win it all. No team had ever won it all with odds that high coming into the playoffs. Conversely, San Antonio, you go back to October, Joe, they were 66-1 to win the NBA Finals. No team had ever won the finals with preseason odds that high. So we knew history was going to be made. And the way things were unfolded, it's funny. I think maybe more so than other handicappers, Joe, I don't always trust my eyes when I'm watching. When I watched it unfold in Game 5 Saturday night, it's not like, my dad even texted me, goes, oh, I've seen this movie before. But it's hard for me to, wrap my head around it that a team can have a double-digit lead in all 5 games and lose 4 of them. Not only did they have a double-digit lead in all 4 games, or 5 games, pardon me, Joe, they led in the last 2 minutes of all 5 games and lost 4 times. Now, those leads were often by a single point. San Antonio, it was very clear. It was a case of haven't been there before. The stage was a little too big. They choked. I don't think Mitch Johnson was particularly good at coaching. And the Knicks, when it mattered, the Knicks just executed flawlessly. That's what it boiled down to. And look, I don't know where they rank all time, but I can tell you it was the numbers will tell you it was the greatest playoff run we've ever seen. And so hats off to New York. Zeno's very happy. I have to eat 12 tacos on an upcoming edition of the Morning Wager because the Cavs lost in the Eastern Conference Finals. So there you have it.
I mean, listen, if one team has bought themselves a free pass for another 50 years, it's the New York Knicks. Because they have done no wrong at this point. They will be the toast of New York City for as long as they want. Hats off to Brunson taking a $113 million pay cut just to be able to get some guys around him that they thought could play. And they did just that. They got Cat, they got Anunoby. This was, I don't ever know at these times of years, BP, because it's the most overused phrase. And I said it all throughout, like, experience matters. I don't know how to quantify it, but I can tell you experience matters. And what we watched was the Knicks never got too high, never got too low. The experience of having choked away in 7 games, the Eastern Conference Finals last year to Indiana, and then what they were this year, they looked like a deer caught in the headlights last year. Never saw that from them once this year. But I don't know how to quantify that outside of if you're going to keep the door open, the Knicks are the one team that will find a way to walk right through it and close it. And that's the mark of an inexperienced team with the Spurs. They can't close. And if you can't close on the biggest stage, you got a bit of a problem. And by the way, NBA, you're going to have to figure out a new face of your league because while LeBron is doing the whole farewell tour, you can't have that crybaby, baguette-eating.
Oh!
You cannot have him as the face of this league because he is the biggest little you-know-what that I think I've ever seen. I don't think he shook anybody's hands after that game, did he? I think he just walked right back into the locker room. He was just too good for everyone because he's the only one that's ever lost the finals, apparently. I don't know.
Well, remember the Pistons, I believe, did that against the Bulls those many years ago. But no, look, if you want to quantify, I guess this isn't necessarily quantifying, Joe, but if you think back to the history of this league, teams usually take their lumps and then it's very rare that a team just makes a huge quantum leap and wins. Golden State, what they did in the Steph Curry era, that was sort of the exception to the rule. Like, even look at this Knicks team, right? Yep. They were upset each of the last 2 years earlier than you thought. And now they figured it out how to execute late. They win it all. Oklahoma City, the year before they won it all.
Yep.
They got upset in the first round as a favorite. And I mean, all through time, we don't need to give people a 30-year history lesson to the NBA. You've been around, Joe. But I mean, teams like, I mentioned the bad boy Pistons. They would get eliminated before they won it all. Boston was their nemesis. And then Chicago had to get over Detroit and yada, 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 and so on and so forth, right?
Yep.
It just sort of happens. No, I think if you're San Antonio, it stings. It sucks. I mean, you outplayed the Knicks for 3 quarters and all 5 games, basically, and you have nothing to show for it. But this is a team that's going to be a threat for a long time. I think there's no reason to necessarily hang your head as bad as you feel.
Nah, listen, you got to lose before you can win in this league. It's something that I've always said. You got to learn the hard way. They did, but I got to tell you, he needs to grow up in a big way, man, because, you keep going for guys' legs, you keep going for guys' knees and ankles, you keep throwing elbows. You better eat a few more baguettes, my friend. You better be putting a couple more pieces of bread there and bulk up because there will be guys coming. They won't tolerate that in the NBA. So kudos, though, to the New York Knicks for getting it done. We'll take a look here coming up in the predictive markets for the way too early 2027 Pro Basketball Championship. But first, though, we do got to get to a parlay of the day. Let's give the people a winner here to start off. You mentioned we got, I believe, 4 World Cup games here today? 4. One of them is just getting ready to go underway, but you wouldn't bet that anyway. Spain against Cape Verde. I don't even know if anybody knows where that is. But
we looked it up on Morning wager. It's
And
off the coast of Africa. Off
all
the
right,
coast of
there you
Africa.
go.
Just a nice boat ride from Senegal. There you
Oh,
go, Joe. Nice vacation
beautiful this
idea
time
for
of
you
year.
next summer.
Beautiful
Yes.
this time of year if the Pirates don't get you first. So why don't you decide where we're going
It's
here?
the other side.
Kick us off for the parlay of the day. Where you looking, BP?
I'm actually going to look in baseball. I got one for you in baseball that I think's a good bet. Washington Nationals against Kansas City. Look, Washington's got a big-time edge, Joe, at the plate in this matchup. This is the highest-scoring team in all of baseball. 5.44 runs per game for the Nats. Kansas City, they're at the other end of the spectrum, 29th in runs per game. They're dead last on the road in runs per game. Don't look now, Joe, but Washington might be pretty good. Actually, they're 8-1-1 their last 10 series. They just take 2 of 3 from a first-place Mariners team. I think we're going to see that home record start to improve. And we mentioned the edge offensively they have over Kansas City. Well, look at what's going on the mound in Monday's series opener. Mitch Spence being recalled from AAA to start for the Royals. He's only had 1 big league appearance this season, and it went poorly. Gave up 6 runs in 4 innings to the Yankees. I think Washington can knock them around and get the win here.
Don't hate that, BP. Don't hate that at all. Although they've been putrid at home this year, they seem to have figured some things out, at least against Seattle over the weekend. All right, I am going to go to Chase Field, in fact, and I am going to back the Arizona Diamondbacks here at a short price. Nelson on the mound. I think Lourdes Gurriel is back tonight, which is going to help Arizona. Listen, Zach Gallen turned it around yesterday. Fantastic job by him getting the win. I think the bats are close. I think Arizona is woefully underperformed this year. I think they're going to get it back. Nobody better than the Angels at this point here. I think the Diamondbacks at home, short price, worth a shot here at minus 130, I think, right now with Arizona. And you got Washington. So there you go. It's a 2-team money line parlay. What are you thinking, BP?
I'll just throw another stat your way that supports that play on Arizona. The Angels' worst road record in all of baseball, 12-23. That is owed to the fact that they give up a lot of runs per game on the road. Third most in all of baseball.
Be good to get Gurriel back there, though. I think Arizona's they're gonna rattle off some wins here coming up. They're gonna be a bet on team soon. All right, we have got much more to get to here, including our predictive markets, and we'll get to some business. We'll run down the rest of the baseball slate. We'll do a World Cup rundown. We'll take a peek at the mailbag, and we'll get it going here. But I had mentioned it, BP, the predictive markets, and boy, oh boy. We've got a couple of interesting markets, to say the least, but one of them, boy, this weekend with Philadelphia and Milwaukee, it kind of solidified that Milwaukee is real. Philadelphia, still very good, but they're going to have, they still lost a lot of ground along the way, although they got Miami tonight with Wheeler on the mound. But Miz goes out there, and he's throwing 130 miles, and he's striking everybody out. I mean, he's going unbelievable effort against the darn good Phillies lineup. And then you thought Sanchez would do the same yesterday, but all of a sudden the lineup of Milwaukee just lit him up early, and he just was not the same after that. And he ends up losing. Miz wins, and now all of a sudden the National League Cy Young market is, what do the kids say? Wide open. It is wide open. Why is Paul Skeen still there? Why is anybody betting? The guy can't win a game to save his life. It's amazing to me. But I
not always his fault, but I get your point. I get your point.
Well, look at what this was. And this is the interesting thing, is prior to that game yesterday, I mean, these teams, both of these guys, Miz and Sanchez, were about 35, 36%. It was even money. One win and one loss in a weekend.
That's crazy.
And look at us, which is why I love to predict the markets, because the overreaction in these markets is crazy. So what happens if Miz gets lit up next time out? Sanchez throws a one-hitter. See, these are the kinds of swings that we got to, you jump in, you wait for the repricing, And then you jump out. And am I crazy to think that Ohtani still has to be considered? He had a bad outing
Of
last
course.
time out. But again, 8 cents, like they're going to look for a reason to give him the award, are they not?
Absolutely. It was a historically low ERA for Ohtani through his first 10 starts. I actually went on WagerTalk today last Wednesday, said take the Pirates plus 1.5 in that game, Joe. They wound up winning it outright. I'm very glad that we are discussing this market here today, Joe, because look, I think we all hate when we say something that in retrospect we'd like to have back. And it was like about 5-6 weeks ago, you and I examined this market on this show. And I had talked about at the time how, I saw Christopher Sanchez's name there in between Skeens and Mizorowski, much like it is now, although Skeens was higher, Mizorowski was lower at that time. And I said, you mentioned the Phillies' slow start to the year. I said, I just can't see Christopher Sanchez winning this award for a Phillies team that's kind of middling up against the names of Mizorowski and Skeens. Well, after that, Sanchez didn't allow a run for basically 50 innings, and I looked a little foolish. Well, now I'm glad here we are, and things kind of normalized a little bit. But look, if you go back, check the tape, I said I liked Mizorowski at the time. Now at this price, I mean, you're certainly buying high. I mean, he's unhittable right now. The guy's given up two runs total since April. One of them earned. But you're right, all it takes is one bad start, and that price is going to come down. So I don't know. I mean, Mizorowski is a deserved favorite, but you're buying high, and I don't like that. I mean, Ohtani, what was it, 8 cents?
Yeah, I mean, look at that. That's crazy.
You're right. I mean, it's not like the Dodgers are going away. I mean, that to me is the price to grab here, 8 cents. And Skeens, look, I know the Pirates have lost his last 6 starts. He did give up 2 homers yesterday, both solo shots against Miami. But, overall, he's still pitching all right. It's probably not worth maybe taking a little bit of a flyer on him at 6 cents. That's fair. I mean, think about where he was 5 weeks ago. He was the favorite in this market. So Ohtani is a good buy low candidate here. You got a Mizorowski, the value's gone.
I think it's a great opportunity. I really do. I think that's I'm kind of with you there. I think both, and again, we don't give a crap who actually wins it because we're not in it to see it through. These are the kinds of markets that we've been preaching to you guys about, the predictive markets, that it's a matter of buying low and selling high. Wait for the reprice. One bad start by Sanchez and one good start by Miz, and he went up by 30 some odd cents. And the other guy went. It's crazy fluctuation in some of these markets. You're talking about a 30-cent profit there in one start and one weekend. And that's kind of what we're thinking. Because I think that's going to go back and forth, though. I'm with you. I think that's going to go back and forth the entire season. One guy's going to be good. One guy's going to have a bad outing. And then Ohtani might throw a one-hitter. Skeens could rattle off 5 wins in a row. And next thing you know, he's up in the 35-cent mark. So buy low and get ready to sell high. Now,
and I mean, look, I'm not an athlete. I've never purported to be, Joe, here on the program. But Mizorowski,
a lot of baseball to play.
It's June. This guy keeps throwing 105 miles an hour. Is the human body? I mean, you don't want to say this or predict it, but is the human? I mean, he's got that lanky frame. He does. It reminds me back in.
That's the other problem.
Like me in '99.
Health plays a huge role in what's going to happen with Cy Young Award winners. Health plays a huge role. I had mentioned it on Friday, BP, where when I knew Skubal was coming back, and I'm saying now is the time to jump in on the market here for Skubal. Buy him in the American League Cy Young. I don't think, again, why would he come back at all if he wasn't really able to pitch? And if he is, then what you could have bought for him on Friday, and he didn't have a great outing, but he didn't get any run support, which is, what else is new when it comes to the Tigers? But it felt like pretty good opportunity to jump on him in about the, 9-10 cent realm. If he is truly back, he's going to be 35 cents once he gets it going again.
The only thing is you have to be careful. He may be switching leagues because remember they're probably probably going to trade him. And that's something to consider. It sounds to me like a lot of the front runners to land him, if you were to believe the rumor and innuendo, are in the National League. I think Atlanta and the Dodgers are top 2 on that list in their pursuit of school because they're dealing with it. This Detroit team is a lost cause. I mean, my father-in-law, I was at the game Saturday with him. He's a Detroit fan. He's kind of made peace with the fact that Skubal is not going to be with this team at the end of the year.
Doesn't think. He thinks they're going to 1 year left. You think then why is he pitching?
I don't know. To try to get it.
Well,
I mean,
yeah,
it was
you
fun.
need to sell. You need to sell Skubal. Like, why is he pitching if you're not planning on giving him the money? I don't. You know what I mean? That I did not understand. And by the way, I mean he's not even up on the board anymore. I think after that outing.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. Yeah, no, he's kind of so. Jeez. Really? I mean, I didn't think he pitched that terrible, but I mean, what'd you expect for a guy that hasn't been gone for a while? You were there, were you not, for this game?
Yes, I was. He made the one mistake, obviously. And look, how many times do we see it?
4 cents.
More often than not, I talk about this a lot. I look to usually fade pitchers in their first start back after a long stint on the IL because there's a lot of uncertainty. There's a lot of rust there. So we'll see how he looks moving forward and what the future is for him in the Motor City.
Yeah, well, let's, I mean, he's out there. It's not because I got to pitch in order to get that contract. He's going to get that contract. Yeah. The question is,
someone's paying.
Yes. And by the way, let me see where that is. As you can see, that's the American League Cy Young, which I think is going to remain pretty close to what we're seeing right there, right? I don't see a whole lot of changing. Although your boy Gavin Williams, I know a lot of people keep harping on him being a real contender here. How much are you believing in him getting it continuing the way he's done? He's had a phenomenal year at 7 cents. I mean, my goodness.
Yeah, I mean, I think, for him, he's had a couple bad outings mixed in there, which is odd. But the thing with Cleveland is, like, unless Cleveland wins that, I feel that Williams probably needs to have like some overall team success to help, unless he's just complete. I mean, the people who give the award have shown that they're not afraid to give it to a guy, maybe not on a team that's great, but he has been good, but I don't know. The Guardians are actually kind of a fake team for me in the second half overall. And we shall see if Williams, I mean, to me, I don't even know. I mean, I like Parker Messick as well. So
yes, I know. I was going to say
that rotation. Yep. So like, I don't think like Gavin Williams to me isn't even demonstrably the best starter in that rotation. Schlittler is a deserved favorite.
He's a 30 cent. I mean, what is he? 24-cent favorite?
Yeah, but that's again though. That's like there's a lot of. I mean, the American League is so wide open that
it's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, I would be looking to buy low. Rasmussen. I mean, gosh.
Well, Dylan and DeGrom, but again, that to me is all about. Yeah. That's all about health. Will DeGrom pitch enough after the All-Star break in order to be able to rise? Because he's been great, but that's the whole question here is. But Schlittler holding strong there at 45 cents right now. But I wouldn't buy Schlittler now. I'd wait for a couple more bad outings and then jump in. But, there's a case to be made for Dylan Cease or Rasmussen at this point at pretty good prices. That's for sure. The other market, too, we wanted to take a look at was just the way too early 2027 Pro Basketball Championship here. And as you can tell, New York's not even, I mean, they're champions, and nobody thinks they're going to repeat here at 15 cents. But shocker, OKC, San Antonio, Boston, Denver at 5 cents, I think is fascinating here. And correct me if I'm wrong, isn't Halliburton coming back? And then they have pretty much the same team, only I think they got rid of the weak link they had there in the middle. I mean, they traded for Zubac with the Clippers. I don't know, Indiana at 4 cents. They're going to be much, out of sight, out of mind. Halliburton comes back good. I like the value Indiana has here on this board, BP.
Yeah, I mean, just 2 years removed. I mean, they were one game away and a
Yep.
Halliburton injury away, perhaps, from winning it 2 seasons ago. Obviously, you don't need me to tell you it's been now. It's an NBA record 8 consecutive seasons where we have
Wow.
had a different champion, no repeat. So I do understand the skepticism a little bit with the Knicks, not expecting them to repeat. As I hit the table there, the camera goes shaking. I mean, I don't know. Everything seems priced kind of right there. I don't really necessarily if you have a good feel, to be honest with you, I know opinion against them is sort of down right now. San Antonio at 27 cents. I mean,
I don't.
that's not a bad deal.
Are we 100% convinced that that's the way to go here? I don't know. I mean,
I don't love it. I'm just saying. I mean, toward 25, 20. Did it just go down 2 cents?
well, let me ask you this: what happens if Giannis is traded to Boston?
Yes, that's something.
Is that already baked in? No, is my question. Because is Boston really a 15th? Like, are they the third favorite? Really?
I mean, people thought they were going to win the East coming into the playoffs before they got eliminated in the first round this year. I mean, it was Boston, not the Knicks, that were favored. Remember, Joe, to win the East. I'm not going to sit here and get up and tell the people that I'm going to get involved in this market as soon as we get off the air. I'm not.
Well, where is Miami?
I mean, look,
Miami's at 3 cents. What happens if Giannis is traded to Miami? We know Miami's in play for him. So what happens there to that 3 cents? And by the way, this is going to happen before the draft, which is when? Next week?
Yes, next week.
Yeah. So to me, that's the angle to play it is like, okay, so Miami's at 3 cents. So all of a sudden, Riley pulls off the trade for Giannis. 3 cents turns into 20 cents in a heartbeat. Yeah,
I mean,
and Cleveland? Are we supposed to think that Cleveland can't at 4 cents? Like, really?
I mean, Cleveland is kind of similar to the Knicks, right? They couldn't get over the hump of the semifinals for a while. They did this year. They get to the conference finals. Things obviously did not go well. I mean, they were gassed. But, they're a chance. Cleveland is, again, Giannis is going to dictate a lot. But right now, I would say Cleveland is no worse than the third best team in the Eastern Conference behind Boston and the Knicks. So 3% is not a bad deal.
He is the one he is the one that will move that market the most. Yes. I'm not sure the draft is going to move prices all that much since everyone has a pretty good idea of who the best 5 players are. And it's just a matter of switching it from there. Although I do think the Wizards will be better than most people think next year if they can keep everyone on the court. But I think Giannis is the one that will move the needle in that market, and you don't have to tie up your money forever. Just wait until, because Haslam said, right, this is going to be over by the time we get to draft night. All right. Well, is it over? Is it Boston? Because if Boston goes, then tell me how they're not going to be right up there with the same price point as.
Yeah, you're right. And for what we've been preaching, buy low, sell high. You could just get in, get out. If you think Boston's is the landing point, their price will go up if they land Giannis, obviously. So you could just do that, and make a quick buck. Where it's like, all right, get him now,
get him in,
Giannis,
get out,
and then you're like, well, all right, I'll sell. That is.
Is it crazy for me to think that like Giannis? I wouldn't. Is he really going to move the needle and push? I can't stay healthy. I don't know.
Yeah, but they'll go up. To our point, they won't be. Those numbers will adjust if they land them. Do I love the Celtics? Am I going to come on here next week and say, oh my God, the Boston Celtics are winning the NBA final? No, I won't say that. But their price will go up in that particular market. And like you've been saying, that's all we're looking for here.
Yeah, I think Brown's getting traded anyway. So, but that's all right. That's a story for a different show. There you have it, BP. Some predictive markets there. A little look ahead for you. I do think there are a couple of markets you can get in and get the hell out of real quickly here. And we just gave you a few. So before we run down the Major League Baseball card, talk a little World Cup rundown, BP. It is time. And I know you look forward to watching this picture every time you're on here. So give you time for a little business here as we welcome back in the Prez, who I understand is starting the over 65 table here in Vegas at a poker tournament. Hope he remembers his glasses. That's all I'm going to say. And we'll have an update on that. But how about you, man? What's going on over at your page at WagerTalk.com?
3 plays for Monday. We have a 4% best bet in the World Cup. This is my strongest release so far in the World Cup, plus 2 plays in Major League Baseball as well. Joe, on a 62-41 all sports run, that's up 41.2 units. 34-18, my last 52 plays in Major League Baseball, 65% run. Perfect 3-0 since Wednesday. We were rained out yesterday after going 2-0 on the diamond on Saturday with the Cubs and the Cubs under in that game. Always nice to hit side and total in the same game, Joe. So, yeah, you get all 3 plays for $29 today. Or, of course, we've got that great special going on right now where you get 6 days of all access for $69. This will give you all my World Cup, all my Major League Baseball. That is quite the deal there. So take advantage. Of course, normally it's $69 for a 3-day pass. We're giving you double the access at no extra cost. WT.buzz/BP.
Get her done. Good deal there, BP, for sure. I love that buy 3, get 3. I am also locked in 2 Major League Baseball top plays here today for you over at my page at WagerTalk.com. And guys, do not forget, I told you on Friday, because we ended up hitting again yesterday with our free play. I think it's now a 14-1 run, 17-2 over the last 19. So all in baseball, guys. So you go check it out over, and don't forget that, because you're posting all the time on your free pages as well there, BP. Yes. So there's no reason for you guys not to check it out. Head over to our pages at WagerTalk.com. I'll have another free play in Major League Baseball up for you guys here shortly. Ride the wave, because it's been a whole lot of fun over this last month and a half here, and we got more of it coming. So, Major League Baseball rundown here, BP. Some interesting games tonight. We'll throw the clock on. We'll run down a bunch to see how much we can get to. Let us start with Philadelphia and Miami. Wheeler on the mound for Philly. And I believe Gusto, former Astros pitcher, has been in the minor leagues of the Marlins. They've called him up a couple of times. This is a tough assignment to me, BP. Minus 180, 185 for Philadelphia. And Philly's at home here. So Miami's been great lately, but it just feels like after being shut out yesterday, they might be a little pissed off here, Philadelphia.
I like the over in this game. I agree with the market. Moved to 7.5 to 8. The Phillies score about a full run per game more at home than on the road. Yes, they were shut out twice in Milwaukee, but again, that was on the road. And one of those was against Mizorowski, who we just talked about his accolades a little bit earlier. So, yeah, I agree with the market there, going from 7.5 to 8. Miami's been swinging the stick well. I believe 42 runs in their last 8 games.
Very good. In fact, they beat Skeen. So, my goodness, why not here? Another interesting trap game here tonight, guys. Colorado and the Cubs. Colorado just scored 78 runs yesterday in Vegas in the altitude. Now they got to fly to Chicago. The Cubs were out west taking on the Giants. They had to fly back home. And now we have 9.5 on somewhat of a humid night, but it's not 90 degrees in Chicago, and the wind is not blowing out, and it's 9.5. This feels like it might be priced just a tad high based upon recent offensive scores for both these teams. Travel-wise, situationally, it's not a good spot here, BP.
No, the Rockies are not a good offensive team on the road, and they're not playing in Vegas anymore at altitude. Yep. Yeah, you know me. Anytime you can bet the under on a team that just scored 23 runs the previous day, YOLO. You got to do it.
9.5. That is just bonkers here. Yeah. Game of the night, though. Tampa Bay and the Dodgers. Martinez against Lauer. You don't often see 9s at Ches Ravine, too, against two teams that are only separated by 3 or 4 games in a win column here. Tampa's got 40-plus wins as well. Do we trust Lauer more than Martinez? Martinez more than Lauer? Are we getting 10 runs in this game here, BP?
Tampa Bay, the thing with them is they're just not the same on the road as they are at home. You look at that road below 500 on the road, that they got off to that great start to the season, particularly at home. I actually think the price is a little cheap for the Dodgers here. Joe? I know you look at the Rays record, but I don't know.
It feels
to
like
me,
a trap.
One of these teams is a real contender. I think one's a pretender. I'll say that. I'm not playing it. I'm not crazy about laying. You're right. It does feel kind of trappy. I'm not crazy. I mean, minus 170 is not a price you're doing cartwheels over, but
no.
I don't know. The price does feel a little cheap on the Dodgers at home.
It does. It feels like one of those spots where the public's going to be all over the Dodgers, but that line is not moving in the direction I thought it would be moving. So that is a bit of a trap game there. And one final one, Pittsburgh taking on the Athletics. Now, I believe the Athletics are not in Vegas anymore. They're back in Sacramento. Still 10.5, I think, is what I'm seeing total-wise in that one. Ginn has been phenomenal. A little underrated there. He's a ground ball pitcher, keeps the ball on the ground, not in the air. That'll go a long way to helping them stay competitive in this game against Pittsburgh.
Hey, we said it might be an idea to bet the under 9.5 for the team that scored 23 runs yesterday. How about betting under 10.5 for the team that gave up 23 runs yesterday?
They scored 9 themselves.
Yeah, the Pirates don't score on the road, Joe, and there's injuries in the lineup right now. Yep. Jones is better than people realize. I would actually bet. I know, look, Sacramento's a hitter-friendly park. Yep. We understand that. But 10.5 with this Pirates offense, I would look under.
I agree. I'm with you there. All right, went over there, but we had some quality bits of information to give you there. But in the meantime, I'm going to open it up here for BP. He is your soccer guy. He's got some World Cup action locked in. But overall, BP, 2 minutes on the clock. Give us a rundown here of what's happening with the World Cup and where we should look.
Yeah, by the time we're not going to waste your time with Spain and Cape Verde because it's already started by the time you guys have watched this. I think Egypt plus half a goal is worth a look against Belgium, Joe. Uruguay, Saudi Arabia, I would look at an under there. And then in the nightcap, we've got an interesting one, Iran and New Zealand. Are you aware of the deal with Iran, Joe, and what they have to do? They are not allowed in the country except for match day, obviously, due to the ongoing conflict that we've got. So they had to go in today. Their home base is in Mexico. This match, they're playing in Southern California. I kind of think this price is a little cheap against New Zealand. New Zealand has the lowest FIFA rating of any team of the 48 in this entire field. And Iran was as low as minus 120. That price seems a little cheap. New Zealand, they haven't scored in 6 of their last 9 losses, and they've lost 9 of 11 overall. I don't know if you're going to get a cheaper price to fade them at this tournament. So Iran, even Iran to win and keep a clean sheet, if you really want to get aggressive, Joe. Iran conceded just 0.75 goals per match during qualifying. So I don't know. Unless if you think the logistical hurdle of having to get in and out of the country on match days is just too much to overcome, I think the price might be right on Iran here tonight.
Ooh.
I'll leave you some time. We went over in the last segment. I'll leave you some time.
No, I'm just curious there. I mean, Belgium, obviously, they're older, but they are offensive in nature. So I think they were averaging almost, 4 goals a game leading into the World Cup. So, but Egypt's all about defense and keeping them out of, their end. So that's going to be a fascinating battle between two totally different styles. Are we looking at a shutout in New Zealand versus Iran? Maybe both teams to score no or something along those lines?
I mean, that's a way to look because, if New Zealand were to shock the world, it's probably 1-0. I mean, I don't, but I don't know. I think that price on Iran looks cheap.
I agree.
New Zealand, again, Scotland, so New Zealand's FIFA rating is very comparable to Haiti. Okay. So those are the 2 lowest rated teams in the entire field. Scotland closed like minus 195 against Haiti.
Ooh,
Iran is 20 spots higher than Scotland. And look at how Iran is priced. I think it's this travel factor of them having to get in and out of the country that is being factored into the marketplace. And that is a bizarre situation, obviously. But I don't know, man. I look at that price, and you look at how New Zealand's going to be priced in their other 2 group stage matches. This is probably the this is probably the cheapest we're going to be able to fade them at.
I agree with you there. I think it's a good price. I think it's probably the right. You can't bet New Zealand. I mean, my goodness, they can't
No.
score. They've lost. I don't think they've scored in 7 of their last 10 matches. I don't know why the hell we
Yes.
think they're going to score now. So I'm kind of with you there. I also like both teams to score no. I think the only team that's going to score is going to be Iran at this point.
And the defensive issues are just as bad for us. They lost 4-0 to Haiti.
Yeah, exactly. Yep.
So I mean, if you were to say they're the worst team in the field, I'm not going to fight you on that point.
Nope. Could be worse. You could be Tunisia, who just lost the game and then fired their coach. Very interesting.
I'll tell you, it's soccer. They don't mess around, Joe.
They do not screw around, VP.
Sacking the manager in the World Cup.
Unreal.
Absolutely
unreal. All right, that'll do it. You got a little World Cup action, plenty of Major League Baseball. No reason for you guys not to head over and visit our pages at WagerTalk.com. Take advantage of that buy 3, get 3 deal right now. $69 over at BP's page, as well as my page. Ready to roll, guys. Starting a new week. Not to mention we'll have I can't believe U.S. Open already here. Boy, I tell you, we got a draft coming up in the NBA. We got 2 more majors on the PGA Tour. And then before we know it, camps will be here, the NFL. Yep. It's just absolutely crazy. Where does the time go? But take advantage, guys. Hop on board now over at WagerTalk.com. BP, I'd like to say this has been a pleasure, but you know better. But we do want to thank you very much for swinging by here. And
somebody had to show up, right, Joe? Otherwise, you would have to do the show by yourself. I mean, I know that you got all those impressions and things, but
absolutely impressive. Absolutely
a warm body.
Yes,
that's right. Yeah, okay.
Yes.
At least I gave you a warm body on the show
today.
Right. And Prez, where are you?
I have no idea where he is. Prez is just taken off altogether, but it's always a pleasure to see you instead of the Prez on any given day here. I have no idea why it says it's April 16th, but the hell with it. In the meantime, just notice that. That's what happens when BP shows up. Everything goes to hell here. Bottom line is we'll be back tomorrow. We'll get you. We'll see if Art the Caesar comes back. He's got some things to say. There you go. Much better. We'll be back here. One of us will be back here. The bottom line is enjoy the games, guys.
There'll be a show
tomorrow. There will be. Somebody will be here. The best betting show ever. Enjoy it, guys. We'll see you soon.